First, Short tried to barge past security and screamed into the room, "Tell Elgin Baylor that if he doesn't get his ass out here fast, I'm done with him." Then he told others, including Jerry West, "If you don't play in this game, you're probably never going to play again."
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a good day. So I had a request to check out a video from Mike Korzemba, and this one's called "The One Game That Decided the Future of the NBA." I have no idea what the context is, but the commenter said I'd enjoy it and I should do it. So that's good enough for me. Let's do it. This seems to be an older video from Korzemba. I subscribed to him a couple of years ago, so I know his modern work, but I don't recall a video of his this old. So this will be a journey, and I'm interested to see what this topic is. What is this one game that decided the future of the NBA? But as I always do, I'm going to link Mike's video down below in the description. So if you guys want to check out his channel, or if you guys want to check out this video without my commentary, go right ahead. And yeah, I don't have much to say on the intro on this one. I hope you guys are doing well. The reason is because I don't know what this is about. So let's find out together, all right? Like the video if you don't mind. That helps out a ton. And yeah, let's do this.
What's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are going to talk about one of the most important moments in NBA history. That is...
Yo, young Mike yelled. He did the Michael Beast. I'm sorry, the Michael Beast. God damn, too much MJ. He did the Mr. Beast style intro where he, today we're going to be blah, 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 blah. Shit, everyone was doing it back then.
This is not an exaggeration. In this video, we are going to take a look at a strike that happened during the 1964 All-Star Game. A strike that, because it was successful, has paved the way for what the NBA has become today. Now, I'm really excited to tell you guys this story because I know a lot of you have no idea about any of this.
I don't.
And if you're a fan of the NBA, it's important to know the league's roots, and plus, this story is just awesome. So, let's just jump into the one game that changed the NBA forever. Back in 1964, the NBA was obviously a lot different than it is now. The league had only 9 teams, the sport of basketball was just way less popular, and the players were basically treated like garbage. As even though in 1954 the players had created a union to represent themselves, the owners basically ignored all of their requests. If you think the NBA is bad now, with some teams occasionally having back-to-backs, in the 1950s and 60s things were so much worse.
You could also tell that this is a 6-year-old video because now the game is soft as all hell.
Did not have full-time trainers. The league forced players to play extreme back-to-backs, and by that I mean a night game on Friday and then an afternoon game on Saturday, and players were simply just not getting paid enough and their voices were not being heard. As Oscar Robertson put it, they'd tell us they were going to do all these things, and then they'd change their minds. Even crazier, Tommy Heinsohn, the now famous Celtic announcer but president of the Players Association at the time, says that in a scheduled meeting with the commissioner, Walter Kennedy, we brought in our reps and they kept us in the lobby and never brought us upstairs. So yeah, that's how serious this was. The players showed up for a scheduled meeting and the commissioner decided he had so much power over them that they weren't even worthy of coming into his office. Of course.
Okay, no, this is cool to know because we're on the opposite end now. So, okay. The player empowerment movement definitely did need to happen to a certain extent because this is how bad it was back then. They wouldn't even show up to negotiations because they had complete power over the players. That's too far. Now we've swung way to the other direction, way too far, where the players have too much power. So just like most things in life, everyone, if you haven't noticed from watching my channel long enough, most of the time, the answer lies in the middle. Players shouldn't have ultimate power, and, the commissioner shouldn't have ultimate power. It should be something in the middle, spread evenly, fair. And, yeah, I see this with most things in life. The answer lies right here in the center. You know, you're right and you're right. So how do we combine those two things that are correct? Now let's move forward. Sounds simple, huh?
Of course, based on things like this, the players decided enough was enough and that something had to be done. And so Heinsohn began to form a plan to stick it to the owners and finally get the players what they deserved. Now, let's take a trip back in time to the 1964 All-Star Game.
All right, let's do it.
Again, is one of the most pivotal moments in league history. Because the players were so fed up at this point, they began to talk to each other in the weeks leading up to the game and made the decision that if the owners did not give in to their demands, they were simply not going to play in the All-Star Game.
Nice.
AKA, they were going to strike. They simply showed up and told them, if you don't begin to make some serious changes, we're not going to play, and you can go out on the court and tell all of the fans why there is no basketball game going on tonight. This was an incredibly ballsy move.
That
Again,
is.
The NBA was not like it is today, and the owners had a lot more power over the players. Sure, not having an All-Star Game would be the ultimate embarrassment for the league, but there were only 9 teams at this point, and if the owners really wanted to, they could basically cut and blackball any player who was involved in this strike.
Damn.
As Jerry West put it, the players were controlled by the owners. All of us felt like we were slaves in the sense that we had no rights. No one made anything then. You had to work in the summer. It was the stone ages of basketball.
Yeah.
And he was right.
That's also why the whole, like, there were plumbers and firemen statement is really actually disrespectful on a different level that it has nothing to do with skill. Because I think that's what JJ meant when he said it was their skill level was like plumbers and firemen. No. What's crazy is they had to do basketball full time and they also had to go work full-time jobs. Imagine that. Imagine that. And they still would get paid like crap total. You know, their 2 jobs combined, they got paid garbage, while players now are making $40-50 million a year. Man, instead of respecting these guys and the hard work that they had to do in order to pave the way for other people's now entitlement and luxury, they rip on these old guys because they were firemen and plumbers. They literally had to do that while playing full-time basketball. It's so disrespectful, man.
Minimum salary of an NBA basketball player at the time was just $7,500. The players were simply not getting paid enough, especially when you consider the conditions that they were forced to play in. So, a lot of them decided this was the time to take a stand. This is what needed to happen for the league to exist in the future. But not everyone felt that way. In fact, in the locker room, the 20 players took a vote on what to do, and while 11 of them did say they didn't want to play a game unless a deal was made, 9 of them, including Wilt Chamberlain, wanted to go out there and play the game and continue to negotiate at a later time. Now, of course, the owner...
I want to read that real quick. Wilt Chamberlain said, "We've got the commissioner's guarantee that he'll do everything in his power. We need to go out and play the game. I guess we went out 3 or 4. Okay, so he was the guy back then. So his voice was heard. Wilt's.
Out there and play the game and continue to negotiate at a later time. Now, of course, the owners did not know this and believed the players were pretty much all on the same page, so the owners basically lost their collective minds. The reason for this was that this was not just a normal All-Star game, it was also the first NBA All-Star game in league history that was going to be televised. To not have a game would be an absolute catastrophe, and the players knew that. But many of them were still very afraid. Basketball was their livelihood, and they truly believed the owners could ruin them if they wanted to. So, arguments about what to do began to get heated in the locker room until Lakers owner Bob Short made a colossal mistake. First, Short tried to barge past security and screamed into the room, "Tell Elgin Baylor that if he doesn't get his ass out here fast, I'm done with him." Then he told others, including Jerry West, "If you don't play in this game, you're probably never going to play again." To which Jerry replied, "Fine, then I'll never play again." And Elgin was a little more angry as he yelled back, "Tell Bob Short to go himself." Immediately, the energy in the locker room...
And Bob Short's the Lakers owner, by the way.
...changed. Now everyone was in the owners can go fuck themselves mode.
Yeah.
And so everyone was now in agreement that they were absolutely not going to play the All-Star game unless their demands were met. As Oscar remembers, we weren't quite united at first, but we soon got there. People came in the locker room making threats, telling us we were going to kill basketball, and what are you doing? It was a TV game and we could understand that, but it was something we had to do. If you negotiate in good faith and you agree to do something, you should be true to your word.
I mean, agreed. That's, yeah, unless you're a snake.
So the owners finally realized that the All-Stars were not playing around. This was very real, which meant as the clock ticked down and the game got closer, the owners became the ones who were now panicking. Not having an All-Star game would deal a horrible blow to the sport of basketball in general. The NBA was a young league trying to establish itself, and it just couldn't handle a setback like this. So as the players sat in the locker room determined not to play, the owners came to a decision and caved into every single one of the players' demands. From now on, NBA players would have a pension system in place. They'd have full-time trainers. They wouldn't be forced to play extreme back-to-backs. And perhaps most importantly for the future of the league, the NBA's Player Association was now going to have a real voice and bargaining power in every serious discussion. It was on this day that the seeds for everything the league has become were planted. I'm talking about huge contracts. I'm talking about sharing revenue. I'm talking about things as simple as free agency. All of this started because a group of men decided that enough was enough.
Yeah, and this would be the first time that the player's voice was actually heard. That's a huge deal.
Were willing to risk their careers because they knew that this was not right and that things needed to change. So again, guys, I just wanted to share this with you to show you just how important the 1964 All-Stars were. What they did was incredibly ballsy, but it paid off big time. And I've got to say, there is a lesson there. There are going to be times in life where you're faced with a difficult decision, and the easy choice is not always going to be the right answer. The easy thing to do for the 1964 All-Stars was just to play the game. But they stood their ground, and the rest of the NBA should thank them for that. With that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to this channel, I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you love basketball, I will guarantee you will love the videos that are coming up, so make sure to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for watching. You are awesome. We know it. I know. As always, have an awesome day, and cue that music.
I know.
From standing on the corners bopping.
I know. I'm subscribed. I'm awesome. Great video, Mike. That was a great video by Mike Corzamba there. I'm glad nowadays he's mellowed out a little bit. Oh, dude, that is cool. That is cool font he was using on these videos. Sorry, you guys can't see that anymore. I forgot editing. Anyways, you guys, yeah, check out his channel if you enjoyed this. That was a great class time right there. I feel like I totally didn't know about that. So that's a 1964 All-Star game. Let's see if my old ass head can remember that and retain that information. That was the first breaking point where players actually had a voice and they had some rights, and they finally defended themselves against the league to actually be treated like decent human beings, as opposed to just like, just being treated like freaking animals out there. Yeah, cool vid. And I don't know what else to say. That was actually, I'm really thankful that I had that suggestion to watch this video, because this one would have flown under my radar probably forever. So I love learning new things, and it is also cool to see just how far we've come. And also good to note that sometimes it's good when we break through something like this, because this needed to happen. There needed to be a change. But also that after a lot of time passes, like 40 plus 20 to about 60 years pass, because we're in 2024 now, you can see that if it's not being paid attention to, it can actually go too far the other direction. And we're now there. So it's like, it's always good to remember what the initial goal was in change in a social movement. What was the initial goal? Every couple of years you got to ask that question. what were we trying to accomplish here as far as our freedoms, as far as, you know, what kind of change we wanted, and did we accomplish that? And at a certain point, if that has been accomplished, I believe it's time to, you know, lay down the arms and go, all right, job's done. What's next? What else can we change? You know, what else do we need to change? Because this one has gone too far. I'm just going to say it. And that's why we have the low quality of basketball that we see now, with people getting paid way too much. You know, tic-tac fouls, not trying hard enough. They get away with load managing because, you know, they get to miss games whenever they want, and still get paid. It's gone way too far now. So we got to reel it back in a little towards the middle, and hopefully we can get a good product again someday. But anyways, great video from Mr. Korzamba, and I appreciate you all watching. Please leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and let's all be good to our people, okay? Let's have a wonderful, peaceful night, and let's just be kind to the people that we love and protect them, support them, do all those good things, and have a wonderful night, everybody. All right, peace out.